thinks the drinking age in America is too high? I believe that it is and think we should revise the National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984. I've had the opportunity to research this topic and feel that the legislators got this one wrong. Most of us are already 21 or older, so this will not directly affect us. However, it will have an effect on our younger siblings, nieces, nephews, children, and future children. Today, I will tell you about the act, why it was an issue, and the revision that we should make. First, some history of before the act was signed. Before the act was signed, states controlled their own drinking ages, the lowest being 18, represented on this graph in the dark blue, and the highest being 21, represented in the red. This graphic was published by VinePair.com and it shows the history of drinking ages in America. Down here you see the year, and over here you see the key. As we are in the 60s, we can see that just a few states changed to 21, and some actually dropped down to 18. And then once we get into the 70s, you can see a lot of them drop down to 18 or 19. And then once we come back up closer to the 80s, some of them are coming back to 20 and 21. And once we get to 84 and 85, a lot of them change to 21 until finally in 1988, all of them are 21. Now let's go over what the act is and why it was signed. A Boston.com article shows that the National Minimum Drinking Age Act was signed on July 17, 1984 by Ronald Reagan. This same source also states that if a state does not comply with the National Minimum Drinking Age Act, they will lose 10% of their federal highway funding. An APIS article shows that a grandfather rule was in place, meaning that those 18, 19, and 20 at the time of this signing would still be able to drink. YouthRights.org published an article stating that Candy Lightner had the most important impact on the signing of the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. Candy Lightner was the founder of MAD, or Mothers Against Drunk Driving. This organization went to Congress and began lobbying until they gained enough attention, and this act was finally signed into law. The National Minimum Drinking Age Act has had a variety of effects. Here are just a few. Many claim that the act has been a success because there's been a decrease in drunk driving fatalities. However, as you can see in this graphic from LawStreetMedia.com, there's been a steady decrease from 1982 until 2002. The only drastic change you can see begins here, which is about 1988, and it's among the age group of 21 to 29, which these people were not affected by the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. This decrease can actually be linked to seatbelt laws and public awareness. The same article shows an increase in college-age binge drinking. This college-age binge drinking is directly causing violence and sexual assault. Here's what we can do to revise the National Minimum Drinking Age Act. The act should be revised to make the Minimum Drinking Age Act 18. We should revise instead of repeal, as with a repeal, states could go back to having different drinking ages. Think about this. At 18, you can vote, get married, go to war, but not sip alcohol. The Drinking Age Act, in my opinion, is a failure. The only thing it has accomplished is an increase in college-age binge drinking. Higher legal drinking age does not ensure young people won't get alcohol, and, as an ABC article states, it can even make it more appealing to those under 21. The National Minimum Drinking Age Act should be revised to reflect an 18-year-old minimum drinking age instead of 21.